it's like, what's in it for them? It's really, really hard to get homeowners in that mindset. And
Yeah, they're just thinking about it from their perspective. I think that's
yeah,
part of the reason it's so important to have it in at the software and marketing level where it's tracking as much of it as possible, where at least you're getting where it came from. And that's what I'm tackling. One of the things I'm tackling in the next couple of months is making sure that ProLine's doing that, where it's to the most extent possible able to identify where a lead came from, um, and
yeah. I
not
mean,
just at the project level, but specifically at the contact level. I think that's important because it's like you're saying, it's hard for it to happen after the fact. Um,
it's so much easier when there's electronic, um, what's it called? Electronic paper trail. Like
yeah,
if we in Proline, if we can track like Roof Quote Pro stuff and we know it every time, and we know, okay, it's a website form every time, that's going to be super accurate. If it's a postcard from Dope Marketing that has a QR code and we know it's a postcard, that's awesome. I just think when you put people and human error involved, it's really, really hard. The more we can
really
take the
hard. Yeah.
people out of both from the roofer team, company team, and the prospects side. If you can take that human error out, then you're just going to have more accurate data.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're working towards that. I mean, right now we kind of have that right now with the project tags. So that's how we've been sort of handling lead source right now, is just tagging projects based on where they came from. And I think that's still a valuable thing as well, because it's good to know, oh, this project came directly through Referral Pro. But I think the thing that we need to add is at the contact level. So wherever you need to know the original source of a customer, so that even if they do multiple projects with you or they refer other people and that gets labeled, even though that is hard, like you're saying, but if it does, then we're able to actually track all that back, because that is, I think, where some stuff gets miscommunicated and where it's easy to write off lead sources where it's like, oh, this lead source didn't generate enough revenue for it to be worth it. But if it was properly tracked, you'd be able to see, oh, actually, so that person here, they did this like multiple jobs with us, and then they referred two people, and so overall that lead source, that marketing campaign was actually profitable for us. And so I
Yep.
think that's something that it's it's one of the areas that we need to fill out to make sure it is as good as possible through ProLine.
One thing that would excite me as a business owner is if we've never really had to do this before, but we've sold 2 Yelp roofs, and really profitable Yelp roofs. Like we've never had Yelp ever. Georgia doesn't really use Yelp for home services. But if we had a very clear dashboard that said, okay, let's think about it. For me, we've sold Yelp roofs. We sell a lot of roofs from like Google Guaranteed or Google Local Service Ads, LSA. We sell a lot of that. But if I knew it was coming from the LSA ad, that would be awesome. Like I don't really know it now. Just because we switched over, I don't really know. If we knew all those electronic lead sources, that would be massive, because then I know, okay, if Yelp's selling, I should probably I haven't put $1 towards Yelp, but we've sold 2 roofs. That's a pretty good ROI. But but I need to see it on a monthly basis so that I know, like, okay, where to put marketing dollars. If it's Thumbtack or if it's Angie or whatever else people use in different markets, if Proline can provide a very clear lead source analytic that we can all use and see really well, like this is the number of leads and this is the number of generated revenue and this is profit, like that's huge. That would be a huge thing. It'd be
Yeah.
very clear. Or like, people like that build websites, if it's Hook Agency and they're building a website and lead forms there and they're using the website and you can track that, it's a good idea to use Hook for PPC or whatever that they're offering you. If is the SEO working? Like all these things are really, really helpful for people to know where to put the money towards for their marketing budget.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What based on what you have, I know kind of part of what we're talking about here is we want to get this better for your company through Proline. But from what you've seen so far with the data that you do have available for all these lead sources, which lead sources have been the best for you?
So it's pretty clear that it's LSA. Google LSA has been really like they're pretty high quality leads when they come from Google local service ads. Um, those even though there are two roofs, Yelp is very intriguing. I'm having we're having to revamp like this winter time to try to execute more intentional activities in these other lead sources that we're getting, like small amounts, and try to multiply those lead sources more. If it's with dollars or just being more proactive with posting in those on those platforms. Um, but definitely LSA for us right now. I mean, that's what it definitely has dropped off a lot, but also organic SEO. We're starting that again. That's always been really good for us. We've focused on that. You've done that for us for years, and we've had Hook do it, and now we're doing the SEO roofing school with Demo. He's going to do blog posts for us, and then we're going to do some in-house stuff as well. It's just we focus on online presence. We focus on Google reviews, and we want to provide a trusted source for roofing.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I think, yeah, it always seems to come back to SEO. But Google LSA is interesting. I really would like to figure out how to integrate ProLine with Google LSA for the speed to lead. I think that's a big thing that would be really good to have. It's just really tough. They make it intentionally tough to try to integrate software into it because they're trying to avoid
Thousands of integrations.
well, not just that. I think they're intentionally trying to force people to manually respond to those leads. I think
I
that's
get it.
part of their strategy. So it might be difficult for us to build that in. But yeah, Yelp, Thumbtack, like these are things that I need to work on to make sure that they're integrated for the speed to lead. I think some of it is possible. Thumbtack might be possible with Zapier now. I think I saw that. I think they had their on Zapier, but I'm not 100% on that. But that's kind of what some of the problems is. Like the leads are good on these specifically because of how the platform set it up so that you can't automate communication on them.
Yeah.
Like it makes it hard for both from the customer side and the contractor side for you to do any kind of automations or have any essentially bot activity. Like they're intentionally like making that not possible. And so that makes it difficult for us to integrate. But not impossible. Like Google LSA does already have some CRM integration. So I think we might be added to that list at some point. So, well, let's wrap this up.